Morning everyone, my name's Hannah and I'm the C5 nut. Right, today we're going to be working on the green machine again. I had a couple of issues this morning regards to the replacement driver's rear ram cylinder. The replacement one, I couldn't get the sphere off, so what we're going to do today is just replace the centre sphere, which is heavily corroded, it's leaking, and also we're going to be replacing the pipes as well. So the rams I will replace at some point this year. I decided there's pointless me just replacing one, I might as well replace both of them at the same time. So at the moment I'll see how things go, but every time I do something to this car it keeps fighting back, and I think it's angry at me from leaving it in the state it's in. So yeah, right, let's crack on. Okay, as you can see, I've taken one of the blocks off down at the front and I've left the back end as it is. I've hit the button in the car so the car is actually down on its lowest setting. At the same time, you want to pull the cover off and obviously undo your cap. This is the reservoir for the hydraulic system. And also, when you've done that, make sure you undo the battery terminal as well, because you don't want any power on this thing at all. Because we're playing around with hydraulics has high pressure, and high pressure can kill you. So please make sure you've disconnected the battery and you also open up that reservoir as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the car settle like that for about half an hour. Hopefully by then we can then crack on with the rear. Now I'm just going to show you something. This is the replacement ram I've got. There's the old sphere and there's the ram. Now what you normally do is you normally unscrew the sphere and then the ram comes off the housing, but because this is a second-hand part that I bought, all they've done was cut the housing off, so it kind of leaves me in this situation where I can't get the sphere off the ram, and yeah, I'm sort of in that bit of a dilemma really, because obviously I want to use this but I can't. So what I've decided to do is carry on fitting my new centre compensator, and I'm going to fit my new pipes as well. So the ram on the driver's side, even though it's leaking, it's not leaking excessively, it's only a small little weep. So I will at some point in the near future replace that side. I'm going to replace both of them at the same time, so I know that it's all done. But yeah, it's kind of a bit of a pain, but so far everything I do on this car, it keeps fighting me every step of the way. Right, okay. Obviously, if there is anything you would like me to explain to you, please leave it in the comments, because after I've done my green one, I got this lovely white car to finish off as well. So any other bits and pieces you think you want information about, let me know and I'll do my best to do a video on it. Hi all, my name's Hannah and I'm the C5 nut. Right, have I got gossip for you guys? Well, yesterday, which was Friday, we were going to talk about doing some suspension work. So as I went underneath the car, just to try and get everything ready, went to touch the pipe, or one of the pipes, and the pipes were so rotten it had just completely burst. So yeah, I got covered head to toe in LDS fluid. So I wasn't a happy bunny, and I didn't film it. I was basically getting things ready, make sure that the bolts were slightly loose and whatnot, so that obviously when I bring you guys in, and it'd be easy rather than me sort of struggling. But yesterday was just, oh my days. I'm really am glad I didn't film it. I was swearing like no man's business yesterday. I was proper fuming. Yeah, everything. I mean, absolute everything. Whatever tools I had, um, the mats that I was laying on, everything was covered. Even though I did take the precautions of undoing the cap and sort of lowering the suspension down to the ground and whatnot. I've done all of that as it should. But for some reason, and I don't know why, but there was still pressure in the back, and I don't know why. Now these C5s supposedly have filters in the in one of the pipes, and I wonder if that filter might be blocked. It's probably why it won't allow fluid back. But there was a lot of fluid in the back, and most of it was all on top of me. So yeah, right, what I'm gonna quickly do is flip this around. So I've rearranged the car, so it's now back on its blocks, and yeah, look how bad that is as well. Right, so I'm just going to pause it here for a second. I'll get another mat, and then I'll crawl underneath and then bring you back in, so you can actually see for yourself exactly what I've done. Right, okay, I'm now underneath the car. As you can see, I've reattached the exhaust back on, so that's back on. The new sphere unit is back on. As you can see, new pipes. Unfortunately, I couldn't change this ram, but I'm going to do it at a later date. And in all fairness, another new pipe. That ram's going to get changed as well at some point, so I'm going to do the pair at the same time. So yeah, right, so new sensor, obviously that was the new link rod was done 6 months ago. I did the pair, so I did the front as well as the back, and yeah, now you might be able to see a little drip from here. That's only just left over, really. That's how I had to bleed it. So what I'm going to do is quickly explain roughly about this compensator and what it actually does. It's only fitted to the exclusives, so the exclusives and the exclusive SEs all have this one. The LX, the SX and the VTRs don't have these at all. It's only on the upper model, and I'll explain why. Right, okay, so this curly whirly here comes from the hydraulic pump down at the front. It goes into this union here. That's what supplies the hydraulic fluid. The other pipe next to it is the return, or the pressure relief valve, I think, is in there as well. So that is the return that goes back into the reservoir of the suspension system. And then obviously you've got your two outputs. So this is the passenger side and this is the driver's side. Now there's one thing you've also noticed, is there's an electric valve on the end there. This thing here is electric valve. Now in normal mode, this sensor sphere isn't used at all. It's basically, you might as well just take it out of the equation. It's not used at all. And so when you actually do hit the sports button, this solenoid valve locks in and the hydraulic pumps, the hydraulic feed for this becomes stopped. What's the word I'm looking for? Is inactive, and what the car will do is it will lower the car on the rear just slightly, and once it's done that, this centre sphere will then come into play, and it's what they call a hard sphere. So you got your two softs on the obviously the out, these are the soft spheres, but this one is classed as a hard sphere. But yeah, so all it does basically just makes the ride height a little tougher than normal. The LX, the SX and the VTRs all have soft modes, and you can't change them. That's just how they are. But you could, well, if you're very bright, I'm not saying that all of you are dumb, that's not what I'm saying at all, but I'm saying that if you want to, if you want to go and play out there, there's no harm in actually installing this onto, say, like your LX, but you're gonna have to supply 12 volts to this to make it work. But yeah, not only do you have to change this, but you would have to also change the rams and obviously the pipe work, because this is what they call 10mm pipe. The LXs, their pipes for their rams is the same as this feed pipe, which is the 3.5mm. So yeah, fitting sports mode on an LX, to other people may be like, well, what the hell, but it is doable. It really is doable. Yeah, like I say, provide 12 volts, there's your sports facility sort of thing. So yeah, you learn something new every day. But no, I really wanted to film this, but with the day I was having yesterday, and I was coated in LDS fluid, there was just no way that yeah, there's just no way that I was going to do filming as well as me covered in fluid. Yeah. So anyway, this is just a bit of a stopgap of like what happened yesterday and all the other bits and pieces. But today we are going to sort those brakes out. And obviously reattach the brake pipe. So as you can see, that one's not connected, but that pipe's getting replaced. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing the driver's side first, which is this one here. These are well known for the calipers to, the bolts and the calipers to seize up. Now, just there, where my finger is, there's a lot of corrosion. And corrosion builds up in there, which then forces the alignment of the calipers out. So and as you can see, just here, actually, if I can zoom in, whoa, too far, where are we? Yeah, just there, as you can see, that caliper's well and truly touching the disc, and that's all because of this corrosion here. Let the camera readjust itself. Is it going to? No, I'll click the other button. So yeah, there's a lot of corrosion there, literally there, and that's causing the calipers to hit the discs. Right, now these bolts, these ones here that go right through the calipers, they're well known for snapping because of this. So take it very easy, and yeah. Right, so we're going to have a look at this side and see if we can somehow get these bolts off without snapping them. Right, I know I haven't done many videos on the rear end, but as you can see, new discs. I've got to give a massive shout out to my friend Richard. Thanks for hooking me up with some replacement calipers, and I tell you what, they look fantastic. New discs, new pads, new calipers, new hydraulic pipes, including a new backplate. Again, another shout out to my friend Richard. Thank you very much for hooking me up with some parts. Right, I will quickly go in through description on why we had to replace the calipers. Well, one of the bolts actually snapped, which is quite common, but I had to cut it off. That's part of the caliper off this side. It's actually like that way, and the caliper had completely welded itself to that shaft. Even though the top one came off absolute fine, the bottom one, nah. As soon as you go to move the caliper, it was moving the bolt, and yeah, I end up cutting it with an angle grinder just to get this damn thing off. That's how bad it was. Other side isn't too bad. Could do with a clean up really. But yeah, what a nightmare. And this is on both sides. Morning. Today is Sunday. My name's Hannah and I'm the C5 nut. Right, a little since it's wonderful sunshine and we're due to have some rain sometime next week, so I thought I'd take this occasion to do a bit more C5 stuff. So let me show you what we've got. Right, 2002 Citroen C5 LX, 2002 Citroen C5 Estate. It's an exclusive SE. Another 2002 Citroen C5 Estate. It's an LX, and my other car, it's a 2002 Citroen C5 3-litre V6, and it's the exclusive. Now, the difference between the exclusive and the exclusive SE is the SE has the built-in sat-nav and all the other bells and whistles. That one just has no sat-nav in it. Strangely enough, it didn't even have a 7 CD multi-changer underneath the driver's seat, which is a bit confusing, but from what I can gather, because this is probably one of the early V6 built, I think Citroen really didn't have that option to start off with, but don't quote me on that. That's something I'm still looking into. So I'll just zoom it back out. So I think this is, so you've got one Citroen, two Citroen, Citroen, 4 Citroens. I think this is the large C5 collection in Hampshire at the moment. Obviously I don't own the blue one and I don't own the white one. I only own the green one and that car there. So right, today is going to be the last, well, hopefully the last time we'll be working on the green machine for a while. I've near enough done all the work to it. All I've got to do is just bleed the front brakes, and hopefully I can get her in for the MOT next week, and she'll be back on the road again. So I'm not going to do any filming at all today. It's going to be a hot day, and yeah, it's in all fairness, bleeding brakes again. You can easily find that on YouTube. As a C5 nut, I don't think there's anything I can really, I can't really compare. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't really compete with the other guys. So yeah, hopefully sometime soon we will be working on that white one. I think we'll start work on it either today, if not tomorrow. Right, let's crack on.